is the darkness of my dream. This is how I'm born to be. I'd be perfectly fine if I stay this way forever. Nothing on my mind, and I never felt better. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dreams. This is how I'm born to be. This is how I'm born to be. Empty. Distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to praise.
Test. Hello? Okay.
I want to love you. Oh God, I'm
Test.
Is it Sean? Hello?
God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart.
See, harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is the song of my life. Harmony is an integral part of music, adding layers of intricacy and depth. Without harmony and rhythm, a musical composition would be little more than a dissonant cacophony. With the resolution of, is that too much? I hear my echo. With the resolution of each chord and the synchronization of every note, the symphony can touch my soul with peace. Similarly, my soul finds peace as I seek accord in my relationships and every interaction I have. Yeah, that is a little cacophony, dissonant cacophony. How's that? No? I took Toastmasters, but I'm not good with the microphone. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
the microphone.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of close to the mic. It's too far.
Oh, okay.
And then this is really close, so you can hear your
It's too
voice.
close.
But right around there.
So it's right here, right where I am. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, good, okay. Harmony is an integral, that sounds too low. Harmony is an integral part of music. Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Oh, good. I don't know. Yeah, good. What's your name? I'm Kristen. Alejandro. My name's Kristen. Oh, yeah, I've been even in the same. Really, I only have one church out there.
Stand on that
Oh, the other
bridge.
time I went to church.
Test, test.
Love is my decision.
Sonny going to meet me.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, we do bring it down a bit because, honey, I actually talk like this when I'm on a mic.
Side to side, change my mind. God
And did you get her to talk into it like a pint ice cream cone? Yes. Ice cream cone, honey. Ice cream cone.
my decision right here.
It's a beautiful word. It is an onomatopoeic word. It represents the sound that it makes. Hello.
Right.
Okay. So
What?
we need.
Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying.
Oh, that's okay. Entire finger. Got it.
Through waiting.
All right, it's lit up.
I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone. Never return.
So check. Testing. Gabe, can you hear me good? Okay, hear me well.
Bring it on.
Little higher. Somebody sang a little high.
Everything new, everything different, everything true.
Testing. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Hello. This may be kind of. You think it's pointed in the right direction?
Oh, I
Or
know.
flip it. Okay.
It's gonna be everything
Yeah.
new.
I'm glad you're wearing something up high. That's smart.
I'm through grieving.
Yeah.
I'm through
Okay.
dreaming.
All right.
Was with the mic.
All right. I was gonna say maybe I'll twist it on something. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. Then I'll remember that it's there. Okay.
No more wishing in someone else's star. It'll never be mine.
Okay.
I think it's time
Hello.
to bring
Actually, I'll turn it off.
it on.
Yeah.
Everything new,
Yeah. I need to turn my phone off.
everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do.
I'm on my mic, so I gotta be careful everything I say.
Gonna be
It's coming
everything
through.
new.
Because I'm fumbly about finding the
I've
little
survived
button,
many
you know.
times before. Broken heart, slam the door. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
So good morning, everyone. So glad you're here today. And we're going to start with song. We've started using CDs for 2 Sundays each month. And so we're going to sing along with a CD today. And it's our wonderful Elaine Silver. Some of you may know her. She's probably had concerts here before at Unity of Gainesville. We're welcoming everybody on Zoom who's with us this morning. And the song we're going to sing is called I Am the Light of the Living God. And there's a place in it where there's a rather long pause. So we're going to have to be patient around listening to the CD and letting it guide us in our rhythm. So let's all stand if you're comfortable and you have the lyrics. And we're going to sing this new song that we'll learn together. I am the light of the living God.
I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. And joy is our destiny. I am the love of the giving God. Spirit moves through me. You are the love of the giving God. Peace is our destiny. I'm traveling through eternity. Unraveling my humanity. The darkest night and the deepest pain bring me back to myself again. I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. Joy is our destiny. I'm traveling through eternity, unraveling my humanity. Darkest night and the deepest pain bring me back to myself again. We forget, then we remember. We forget, then we remember. We forget, then we remember the truth of who we really are. I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. And joy is our destiny. And peace is our destiny. And love is our ecstasy.
And another welcome and good morning for those of you who have just come forward and perhaps even online. May this service here at Unity of Gainesville, Florida be a blessing, whether you are a long-term member or are just noticing that we're here. We are glad you have chosen to be here this morning and delight in sharing this sacred time together. It is the very first service of the autumnal equinox. Yay! I don't know if anyone else notices the change in the weather this way that my body does, but my body begins to skip when I notice the change. Every Sunday morning is an offering of hands and hearts, and there are so many that contribute, unseen as well as seen. Today, Dee Mitchell is our prayer partner. Bonnie Kilgour is our board member on duty. Alfredo and Gabe are helping us with the stream team and soundboard. I am Rupali Robinson, the Sunday service leader, and certainly last but not least, today's speaker is Reverend Betty Martin Lewis with a message entitled, Peace Activates Life. So, Reverend Betty, would you open us with prayer?
So let's gently relax now into that stream of high consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the I am of us. Let's feel that beautiful energy throughout this sanctuary here in person, and then also wrapping in love the people who are joining us on Zoom and feeling their presence through the ethers, and celebrating that we are together this morning to remind each other who we really are as spiritual beings having a temporary experience on this earth in human form. And as our song sang, we forget, then we remember. We forget, then we remember the truth of who we really are. So this morning we remember that we are spirit, one with each other, one in God, and that in spirit all is well, no matter what the external circumstances. And so we gratefully come together in celebration of this beautiful day and all of our beautiful love being shared with each other. And so it is. Amen. Amen. I'm sorry. So I know there's one newcomer today. Kathy, did I say it right? I remembered your name. Yay. And is there anybody else who's a newcomer? We want to celebrate. Okay, and we have enough. I'm sorry?
Running late.
Running late.
Yeah, that's my Indian name. Charles.
And what shall we call you by?
Charles.
Charles. So we celebrate Kathy and Charles, and we're so glad that you joined us this morning. I know that Kathy's been to Unity before. She lives in Citra. So you guys get to know Kathy this morning. And Charles, where do you live?
I live here in Gainesville.
In Gainesville.
East
And
side.
good. Have you been to Unity before?
I was a member of Unity in Pensacola, and I've been here a long time before COVID.
It's lovely, and he's holding some kind of instrument in his
So
hand.
it's a cane.
Okay, it's beautiful. It actually is beautiful. And so we welcome you and hope you'll come back. And we welcome any newcomers who are on Zoom and bless you and invite you to go to our website or sign up for our e-blast. So every week you can find out what's going on here and find out how to connect with us if you would like further support through the internet. Right, yeah.
And we are delighted to have lots happening. So I'm going to first acknowledge and then announce. Okay. For those of us who were here yesterday, Reverend Betty offered an amazing half-day presentation and open dialogue. Its intention was to share with us what is being researched by the Unity Worldwide ministers and ministry about how churches, other denominations, and Unity are facing into the 21st century and thriving. If you attended yesterday, would you just please raise your hand? It was wonderful. And my takeaway was that it demanded my willingness to dive deeper into my own personal purpose and then integrate that knowing with a clearer understanding of how it serves our mission and vision statement, which you can see beautifully over there on the banners. It is autumn, and did you notice the display at the front? Yes. I would like to acknowledge that Barbara Gordon was the prime mover. It was her inspiration to decorate for the autumn season, and she, her son, and Jackie Ernie co-created this display. We appreciate you. I also want to just simply acknowledge that Barbara is a member of the decoration team, and we do have newly formed volunteer teams. October, coming very soon. And October 1st is party time. This Saturday is our tea party. Our high tea is happening at Willow's Rest, and as I mentioned, it's a 1904 peach Victorian on the main street of Alachua. You cannot miss it. There are a few more reservations available, and prepayment is needed before Wednesday. And I'm going to say very briefly, any way you want to get that payment to us. Checks to Unity with a note in the memo for Tea Party, cash for $33, mail it. We do not care how you get it to us. The deadline is Wednesday, when I call the restaurant Tea Time, Tranquility, and Treasures to give our count of our reservations. Also, and this I want Carla to know, we are very aware, there is a new course, virtual and in-person, starting on October 1st and I want to just say that if you came in, you should have had a flyer offered. And if not, I have been instructed very clearly to say all details are either on the web or in the Unity Messenger or in this flyer. The title is True Prosperity Principles and Processes, led by our licensed Unity teacher, Carla Palmer. And the good news is that even if you took the class, that would be in the morning from 10 to 12, you could still attend the tea party at 2, maybe even carpool. So please join us. Other announcements that I'm going to do very briefly. Please check online for any information about the newly formed grounds crew, because they're doing a work day on October 8th. We are also having a new updated church directory, and so Bonnie Kilgour will be the one to distribute the forms. Whether you are new or long time, please update your personal profile. And you saw the large TV setup out in the gathering room today. This is because our beloved Jackie Tatum is going to be officiating memorial celebration of life for Dan Broadwine, a very long-term member of Unity, and his wife, I believe Jean, is attending today. So, done, and now Kristen Rick will read the Daily Word. I so want to call her Christine because she looks like a friend. Come on up, girl. And
Harmony is the song of my life. Live in harmony with one another is Romans 12:16. Harmony is an integral part of music, adding layers of intricacy and depth. Without harmony and rhythm, a musical composition would be little more than a dissonant cacophony. I had to practice that. With the resolution of each chord and the synchronization of every note, a symphony can touch my soul with peace. Similarly, my soul finds peace as I seek a chord in my relationships and every interaction I have. From a place of love and tranquility, I bring compassion to every situation. With the give and take of compromise, I build understanding and trust. I approach every interaction with faith and the expectation of harmonious results. Harmonizing my mind and heart with the world around me, I welcome and do my part to create goodwill, meaning, and beauty. Harmony.
Thank you, Kristen. Beautiful daily word message. And so we're going to talk today about peace. That has been our theme all month long. And in working on my talk this week, I sort of have some new twist on my understanding of peace that I wanted to talk about. And the affirmation for this month was, I am peace in the midst. And Carla wrote that for us, as we were planning the themes for this year. The I am of us knows peace. It's really a state of consciousness. So when we go into the I am, peace is always there. And we've been talking about that all month. What I came across that inspired me for this talk is a blog that I read. In fact, it was written some time ago, but I had it in my little library of, ideas about peace. And it was written by an Episcopal priest who is in Seattle. His name is Robert V. Taylor, and he wrote a book called A New Way to Be Human a few years back. That was very popular among a lot of Unity people because the chapters in his book followed really what we teach in Unity. So it was very aligned with the universal principles of being fully human, fully divine. And what he said, and I'm assuming that he worked with this congregation the way we do at New Year's. We invite people to sit in meditation and allow a word for the year to come up that we write on a white stone and carry with us as the word for this year. So he had his people do that. And he said to them, if you choose peace as your word for the year, it signals your intention to be an activator of life instead of a passive bystander. An activator of life. Well, this man knows a lot about peace because Robert V. Taylor was born in South Africa in the apartheid and grew up, and as a young man, he was an activist for anti-apartheid, to fight the fight for justice, equality, for the new way of being and living together in South Africa. And so at some point he sought out some guidance because he was interested in ministerial school, wanted to be an Episcopalian priest, and he sought out Bishop Tutu. And we know that Bishop Tutu was the great peacemaker working with Mandela for peace in those times. And Mandela became the mentor for this young man, Robert V. Taylor. And so Tutu actually encouraged him to come to the United States and finish his ministerial training here and then to spread the message of peace. So peace was in his heart. And peace is commonly thought of as the absence of something, the absence of stress or worry or conflict or war. That's how we generally see the interpretation of peace. But it's such a bigger idea, a bigger concept, and I had never really thought about it as the activator of life. I was always thinking when we're fully in our life force, then we create peace. But it's both, really. It's both. So we can claim our peace by shifting into our higher consciousness. It is a state of consciousness. And when we are fully in our higher self, our Christ self, the I am of us, that spark of divinity in us, then we see things differently. We can look at the world through the eyes of peace. We can look at our life through the eyes of peace. And so it doesn't mean that we have to be passive or completely withdraw from the world. Sometimes it's healthy to do that, to seek peace, but we don't have to go apart altogether. We can still be in the midst of things, of course, and have peace if we just shift our perspective into that higher self. And I'm beginning to see it more like a cocoon, right? A cocoon, like the caterpillar goes into this cocooning phase before metamorphosing into the butterfly. Well, you know, peace gives us that state of mind, that state of consciousness that's without fear or worry or negativity. And we just are naturally there when we have attained that consciousness and move into it. But it is our choice. We need to choose peace. We can be agents of peace and choose our peace. So then I found a quote by one of our revered Unity ministers, who has, in the past, some of you who've been in Unity a long time may know of Reverend Sig Paulson. And he said, peace is not a state of inertness, but a state of alertness. Isn't that interesting? Alertness, being aware, really being aware. So peace is a divine idea. It's a universal idea. And then I always like to kind of think of what's the source of, you know, and how is this divine idea played out through our humankind, the evolution of humankind. And the Greeks used to have idols of peace that were usually these women who were bearing either light torches or lamps, or maybe with olive branches. You know, that was the symbol of peace. But in their concept of peace, it meant more than just being still and quiet and worry-free. It also meant being abundant. You know, the olive branch was a symbol of abundance and prosperity. So, and the torch light is a symbol of wisdom. And so when we center ourselves in peace, these are possibilities as we begin to cocoon in peace and then come out of peace. What happens is we're open to activate many more possibilities in our life. When we've kind of got a blank slate in our mind, you know, where we're not dragging forth our stories from the past, that we can kind of let go of how we think the world should be clearer about what is in front of us, what's happening right now, and then what are the possibilities that I can bring to my life. See, it's about activating life. Peace can activate life. The Hindu word for peace is shanti, and I know that many of you may, as a spiritual practice, chant shanti, Om Shanti. Yeah, so, and in Judaism, the word, of course, is shalom. But also in Hebrew, that word has many diverse meanings. It's not just peace. It also means prosperity and blessings for the well-being in the fullness of life. And so that beautiful greeting of shalom has many meanings, you know, that fullness, the richness, the activation of your life. That's really what that greeting is about. And similarly, in Islam, it's salam, aslama alaikum. And people are greeted that way and respond, wa alaikum salam. Peace be with you. And the same thing, peace be with you. May you be well. May you be prosperous. May you have many friends and connections. So there's a richness to that word I think we haven't fully appreciated sometimes, or at least I haven't. So I'm really teaching what I'm learning. And the Buddhists, you know, like to look at the fourfold way and release the things that keep you from peace, the things that in your mind create suffering, so that the outcome will be peace if you can let go of the negativity. So these are all similar ideas that we have in unity and teach these. Now, the Christian roots, we know, are embedded in the Bible. There's so many stories about, war and peace, the dramas of the Old Testament, and the yearning for peace through all these wars that we read about and the dramas in the Old Testament. And we know that the prophet Isaiah told about this coming of the Christ and was to be called the Prince of Peace. So there's just so many references to peace everywhere in the Christian roots. And I love that we know when we read Apostle Paul and we hear that if we are in that higher consciousness, then we will have the peace of God which passes all understanding. And that is just my prayer for all of us, that we can be in that state of peace that passes understanding. It's not about a logical thing. It's not about a striving to get there. It's simply a shift in our consciousness. And every day we can claim our peace. And, just think of our lives. Are we being driven by the busyness of what's happening in the outside world at us? Yeah, that's the human condition, isn't it? If we can be conscious to claim our peace periodically through the day, taking a breather, finding that place where we can be silent and go within and cocoon a little bit, even if it's for 10 minutes. Let's set the intention to do that every day, to claim our peace no matter what. No matter what's happening on the outside. And probably like you, every once in a while I'll take my break and I like to go sit in a particular chair where I'm meditating, and sometimes I can't get there. But at least I've set the intention. And then I'm aware of all the busyness in my mind. Even if I don't get there. But I set the intention to do it. And that's the first step. Claiming your peace is setting the intention to be quiet, to be still for a while, to go into that place of cocooning. And then the Apostle Paul, when he's talking about peace, he says, one of the ways to get there is to think on whatever is true, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is gracious, whatever is beautiful. To put our thoughts on lovely things and experiences. In other words, let's put our thoughts on the positive. So instead of worrying about, is there enough money in the bank to pay the bills this month, it's like giving gratitude for what we do have. Or, worrying about our health, giving gratitude for the body that serves us just as it is. So just learning to claim, and that way you begin to feel your divine power activated. Divine life is activated in that way. I love it that Martin Luther King, when he won the Nobel Prize, his speech for the Nobel Prize, he included, because he got the Peace Prize. So that's what that was about, for all his good works. But he also noted in his speech that when he went into the quiet times, he said, I am filled with tranquility. I am floating in the vibrations of universal peace and love. Floating in the vibrations of universal peace and love. I love that word floating. I mean, for me, sometimes when I'm meditating, I will just use that as my mantra. I'm just floating in the peace of God. Floating. And then just letting it be. So if we claim our peace, we will be in that little cocooning space. And then what I know is true of my life, and if you experience this, if you claim your peace, you'll see that coming out of the cocoon because your mind is quiet, because you've let go of the worries of the day for a time, the possibilities multiply. You'll be aware of so many more possibilities in your day, or to solve your problems, or to spend the rest of the day in joy, or whatever that is for you. So here's some ideas about, what peace can offer us as we're coming out of this place of cocooning of peace. And I always love it because when I'm working on a particular talk or any project I'm doing spiritually, I'm always shown something in the environment that, I get reminders. Spirit's just showing me some good examples. And I happen to be watching one of the morning shows. That's where I sort of get my news, and it's kind of the news, whatever, of the day. They were interviewing one of these extreme athletes. The one who, they climbed the mountain without any trappings or tools, or, go out and snow down a mountain or jump out of an airplane or climb a building or whatever. So this man, Jimmy Chin, he did climb El Capitan in Yosemite. He and a partner went up without any tools, and that was one of these phenomenal feats that he did. And he was being interviewed. He said, some people call this a death wish, what we do. But I call it a life wish. And that perked up my ears. Yeah. He saw it as a life wish to do all this, what I would call kind of crazy stuff, right? And he said it's a transcendent experience where you're in a state of flow, like floating, where everything else falls away and you're in a space of non-thought and the world slows down. It's an incredible experience, and that's really an addictive feeling. So that's the way those who do that kind of thing, get that sense of being in a flow. And that is that cocooning kind of idea, again, of being at peace. So just living in that kind of experience is good for them. Now, I know we're not all going to go out of here and start bungee jumping or, getting in a race car on a racetrack, but just expanding what we do daily, our daily routine, just expanding that a little bit can be a courageous act, because we get into routines, don't we? Same old, same old, same old. So what if you just took a different route to church on Sunday? Just something that simple. It might bring something fresh to your eyes. You may see something out there that you hadn't seen before. Or just try something different. And I think that gets us out of that habit, that habitual response. And a new, try a new hobby. Go visit a friend in some part of the world you've never been. Oh, we have an example of that. We have somebody out in the world right now, our beautiful Giovanna, yes, who is our church administrator, is in Kazakhstan. And we love you, Giovanna. I know she's not tuned in, but I was just learning so many of the beautiful things she's doing in Kazakhstan from Alejandro, her son, was telling me. And so on her Facebook page, she's showing how courageous she is. It's so wonderful. Got on a plane by herself and is over there experiencing life activated. Really activated life. So she's a great role model for us, and we love her. Well, anyway, so out of this place of peace, we may be kinder to others, too. We may get all kinds of new ideas about how to spread love and joy and peace to others. Mother Teresa says, peace begins with a smile. A simple smile can put us in that state of cocooning. And we might be more open and be actually active, exploring and honoring new cultures, new people, diverse faiths, ethnicities, race, whatever. Maybe go visit a mosque. Maybe dance a Greek circle dance or a Jewish circle dance, or participate in some kind of activity that before you might have been a little shy about doing. Something new again, and being open to learning and growing and stretching your boundaries. We might be more creative. We might, let go of any fears we had about art or crafts, or creating things from our imagination, using more of our divine imagination comes out of that resting state where we're cocooning. In fact, most artists, talk about the flow state that they get in when they're creating. So try some creative things as you're coming out of peace, and you'll be shown if you are truly in that flow state. You'll be co-creating with the divine, not just your mind, your own mind, the human mind. And then we'll definitely, if we really claim our peace, be more healthy, more prosperous, more well-balanced, because peace transcends negativity. And we want to keep remembering that. The negativity in our mind, the stories we create in our mind, those are what take us in the downward spiral in our mind. And so we want to do everything we can to let go of that old negativity, the we can't, or I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, or all those stories we make up. So Charles Fillmore said, metaphysicians, and we're learning metaphysics, who study the mind and its many modes of action, find that when they let go of worry, anxiety, other distractions in their mind, they gradually establish this inner quietness that finally emerges into great peace. So we're looking for the inner quietness. And if we practice it daily throughout the day, then eventually we can make that shift to that beautiful quiet space much quicker. And he says, when this peace is attained, the individual gets inspirations and revelations direct from infinite mind. That's when we're in touch with God mind, when we're aware of the oneness. So finding our inner peace too contributes to world peace. So when we work on ourselves to find that peace within us, we're sending out our vibrations into the world and into the thought cloud of human thought all around the world. Those vibrations matter, and they can show up anywhere else in the world, and we can contribute to that through our individual work. So claim peace every day. Remember, it's an inside job. We have the power to claim our peace. And I happen to be, one of my guilty pleasures on Sunday morning is stopping by the Dunkin' Donuts and getting me a mocha coffee. And so I was sitting in my car continuing to wake up with my mocha coffee, and I looked down at the napkin that was on my little gear shift, and it said, "Life happens, Dunkin' helps." Don't you love marketers? Don't you love the commercial world? So we can rewrite this. Life happens. Peace helps. Peace activates life. So let's go out and make sure we have peace every day in our minds and hearts. And so now I invite you to go into meditation. And we take a deep breath now. And just gently close our eyes if you like. And just say to yourself, I am peace in the midst. I am peace in the midst. I am peace in the midst. And just gently now relaxing your mind, your body, feeling that sense of floating into universal peace. In this space, we release any worries of the day, any concerns about what's happening in the outside world. We go within to that inner sanctuary. That place where peace is always available to us. And in your mind's eye now, use your divine imagination to see yourself at peace. And just rest in that place for a moment, knowing that as you come out of that space, your life is activated. And so together we are floating in this beautiful vibration of universal peace and love. And now see yourself open to all possibilities as you move forth in your life. See the possibilities for this afternoon. How you might use your time in a new way, a different way. Activating the life force in you. Using your beautiful spiritual gifts. Let any new ideas come to you, and give thanks in your mind for any message you receive from Spirit. Now taking a deep breath, we send forth then this energy of peace out into the world, allowing it to spread into the ethers, into the noosphere, the thought cloud around the globe, so that we're contributing to world peace as we claim our own peace. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen and amen. And it is so. So we are going to have another song, and it's called Inside. So if you've got your lyrics there, this is a slower, more contemplative kind of song, Inside to Find My God. And our wonderful musician, Daniel Namad, you know his songs, and he will sing along with Daniel.
This world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
Go inside and recognize the spiritual feeding received this morning. For this is the time of giving, and the gift is from that inner space where we know we have been gifted. That which will support us, uplift us, inspire us during our next day, during our next week. This is what I love about the unity message. Ever new, yet ancient. Giving is a gift of both time and treasure. Please know that we are so grateful for your heartfelt contributions, for these gifts so lovingly and mindfully given contribute to the support of this church home. If you are online, you may participate through secure giving. And if you are here in the sanctuary, we, if you wish, often place our hand on our heart and have the gift in our imagination or just simply there now, and say after me, divine love expressing in me, through me, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In that beautiful offertory bowl at the side, you can place your gifts and the payments, if you wish, for the tea. This is now the time that Gwen comes with the children to show us what they have done today. And oftentimes we use a transition song of This Little Light of Mine. Is that available? Ah, yes.
Good morning. We welcome Resin today. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, today we talked about On the Day You Were Born. It's a storybook, and it has a child that looks sort of like this, that goes dancing through every page, and how all the animals knew you were coming on the earth, and the sun and the moon, and even the rain and the air we breathe was ready for us. And even gravity was ready to hold us on the earth so we didn't float away. Can you float away, Reza? And then we talked about how we was in a dark place, but we heard all the singing. And so we came out into the world, and our parents were singing with joy, and how unique each one of us are. And so we've made each one unique. It's a very quiet child.
Hard to do with a mic in your hand. If you now are able, could you join us in a large circle? And we will be singing our song, peace song, and then speaking the prayer of protection. And once again, do we have music? Gabe, do we have music?